What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today we have new details about the Call of Duty 2020 reveal, some new secrets that were found over on that reveal website, as well as some new information about how Warzone will be getting a Black Ops revamp very damn soon. But before I jump into that, I just want to let you guys know that today's video is sponsored by Damned Mods. I'm sure many of you guys out there were like, well, how safe really is this? And I actually reached out and verified this information for myself. They currently have a 0% rate of bans. Many popular content creators have and still continue to use their services to this day, and this is only possible because unlocks are completed remotely from their main account to prevent bans on your account. So if anyone ever falls under the bus, it'd be them. They offer very reliable Modern Warfare services for PS4, PC, and Xbox with quick delivery times. They've been in the business for over 4 years and also offer services for big games like Black Ops 3 and Fortnite. You could use discount code dkdynamite for 10% off your order, whether you're purchasing Damascus or Obsidian, whatever you guys want. Their link is, of course, down below in the description. But in the background, you're going to see some beautiful gameplay of Summit from Black Ops 3. It was a blast returning to Summit from Black Ops 4 just the other day to take part in that Easter egg hunt for the new marketing strategy that Treyarch currently has for Black Ops Cold War. But I still think the graphics look a little bit better in Black Ops 3, as you guys will see here in the gameplay. But first off, something that really caught my attention, which you guys may have seen, Gamespot somehow received their package a little bit late. I'm not sure if maybe they received it on Monday but just didn't notice it till today, but they ended up receiving their package, which is of course the same one that content creators received, and they were little by little, posting tweets about what was in the crate, and we're like, hey Gamespot, we already opened this, we already know what this means. But maybe they just didn't see Noah J's banger stream the other day. I'm not sure what happened there. But also, something that may have gotten overlooked during the complicated Easter egg hunt was this tweet by a gentleman known as X Plays. He discovered that if you apply the same rules and strategy that were used to actually solve the Easter egg hunt, right, when we got the message, Bish, you were here, if you use those rules and apply it to this image that everybody received, you'll see that you can actually spell out the word Reznov. So whether this means Reznov is returning in Black Ops Cold War is of course unknown, but I definitely think that's a possibility, and I would not be surprised to see kind of a new take on the whole twisted storyline with Reznov and Mason. I would really love to see that. We'll love to see how they would kind of adapt a story like that in modern day, but nothing could replace Gary Oldman's performance of Reznov back from Black Ops 1 literally over a decade ago. But besides that too, we also discovered on the reveal website, Pawn Takes Pawn, that the site itself, or I should say the domain, was registered on January 27. Now that doesn't mean that the entire site was ready to go on January 27, but it's been reported that the site was then updated in April, which lines up with the fact that the game was supposed to originally be revealed in May. Why would they update it in April if they weren't going to actually use the site and have the community see it until the middle of August? Who knows how long that Pawn Takes Pawn website has been up and running and ready to go, but we do know, based on reports from verified insiders and from the horse's mouth from Activision themselves during the recent investors call, we know that the reveal for COD 2020 wasn't pushed back because of COVID or development issues. It was pushed back because of how successful Warzone has been. That's not to say that there aren't development issues or aren't COVID issues with COD 2020. There very well could be, but based on reports from YouTuber Exclusive Ace, who's been in talks with the source, he was saying development has been going just fine and they're on track to release this game when they're supposed to. But remember Black Ops 4, that game was in development hell when it came to Blackout, multiplayer zombies, and they still delivered on marketing, right? And that's probably because World War II just wasn't getting too much traction and too much energy from the community at around the time of like Q3, Q4. That's why they revealed Black Ops 4 when they did. But I promise you, if Modern Warfare hadn't been so successful, we would have saw this Pawn Takes Pawn marketing a long time ago. I honestly do believe that there could be slight issues and, a pacing issue behind the scenes because of COVID, the lockdowns, and, the development changes with Treyarch and Raven. There very well could be, but I still think they're on track to release this game when they promised it. But also on the Pawn Takes Pawn website, we noticed that in the corner, you can see the Activision game Chopper Command. Now there's also a Chopper Command calling card inside of Modern Warfare right now, and Chopper Command is a classic Activision game from the 80s, so it could be a possible hint as to the era of this game, despite how we already know it is the Cold War, but it could be a hint that maybe we'll get a little bit of a touchdown on the 80s or the 90s. Also, as a huge FYI, as pointed out to me by my good buddy Eric Maynard, in Black Ops Declassified, the game opens up in the 90s, right, where a little little bit of story is told, and then the actual game, or the gameplay I should say, takes place in between Black Ops 1 and 2. So Black Ops Cold War could open up during a certain era, and then through flashbacks, they start telling us about stuff from the Cold War, etc. I mean, that was already rumored anyway. There was recent rumors that Black Ops Cold War will essentially take place at some point in the present or future, and then all of the gameplay is told through flashbacks. So wouldn't be surprised to see that, guys. They've done it before, Black Ops Declassified. They could very well do it again. And yes, Black Ops Declassified on the PS Vita is canon. What a goated game, just went platinum in it recently. But also on the Pawn Takes Pawn website, you could see the map of Verdansk. Now, the map itself doesn't look any different from the map we currently have in Warzone, but that's a pretty good nod that, yeah, Warzone will absolutely be tied into Call of Duty 2020. And we already heard that confirmed from the horse's mouth during the recent Activision phone call. Now, coincidentally, Tom Henderson, long sensation, went ahead and tweeted that he might have some juicy future of Warzone intel soon. I'll definitely be covering that as soon as that intel drops. He's been very reliable lately, and honestly always has been. He had confirmed that, yeah, the marketing for COD 2020 would have began right when Season 5 started in Warzone, and sure enough it did. We got the first in-game teaser, Know Your History, and then he said that the marketing campaign would continue on Monday with the crate and it wouldn't be a trailer. He was right about that again, so he's proven time and time again that he does have good information, which is good to know when we cover that here on the channel. But also we got information from VGC News. They've recently come up and have been reporting lots of intel across the entire gaming industry, and something really interesting that caught my attention was a tweet by Andy, who is one of the leads over at VGC. He went ahead and tweeted, "Update, VGC understands that COD Warzone's Blackout map revamp will now take place later in the year rather than alongside its announcement as previously reported." So I didn't even know that at one point it was rumored that the Black Ops revamp in Warzone was supposed to happen once the game was announced, not even released. I would have thought that, yeah, we will get a Black Ops revamp in Warzone when Treyarch's new game actually comes out on all platforms. But no, at one point, I guess it was planned to do that revamp as soon as, this summer, which kind of shocks me. So it seems like that's not happening according to VGC News, and that'll be pushed back to a later date, presumably just the release of Black Ops Cold War. There's a lot of conflicting information here, right? Maybe at one point they were like, yeah, Season 5 is the last season for Modern Warfare Warzone, and then Season 6 will essentially be a Season 1 for this Black Ops Warzone, right? That was always possible at one point, who actually knows? But he actually went on and said furthermore that Warzone is a separate thing. I believe the plan is to make it more Black Ops themed with characters, guns, and involve the existing maps. Black Ops will have campaign, multiplayer, zombies, and point to Warzone separately. He has not heard anything about a new map, only updates to the existing one. But remember, Exclusive Ace was saying that his source showed him gameplay of a Russian Warzone map, right? A new experience with new areas and all types of stuff. Maybe all those new areas will somehow replace some of the existing ones we have right now in Verdansk. That's always possible. Maybe VGC News hasn't seen enough or has heard confirmation of this separate Russian Cold War Warzone map. Maybe that's the case, right? Who actually knows? But I do trust Exclusive Ace with 700,000 subscribers, who apparently has seen gameplay of COD 2020 multiplayer, has seen gameplay of the early build of the new Warzone map. I believe that. But always keep in mind, some sources here outdated information, other sources here up-to-date information. I'm just a messenger reporting what I've been hearing from these people, but always keep an open mind about this stuff. Now, I also saw something over on 4chan, and bear in mind, 4chan is equally as toxic as Reddit, if not worse. But in the case this is real, similar to how a QA tester literally went on Reddit last year and leaked a bunch of Black Ops 4 Zombies Easter eggs, here's what somebody had to say over on 4chan. "Hi, currently working in QA testing for Black Ops Cold War, which is planned to release later this year. Things such as the setting and the fact that it's a Black Ops reboot have already been leaked, and I think a lot of you will still feel familiar. It's the same route of Infinity Ward's incredible success with Modern Warfare, to no surprise where we will see a recast and reboot of the fan favorite franchise, with a photorealistic recreation of the Cold War on Call of Duty's new engine that they used and introduced with Modern Warfare. It will mirror COD 2019's game mode layout as well, campaign, co-op, Warzone, and multiplayer. Warzone Season 5 will still remain playable as a separate client, with a new season of Warzone within the Black Ops Cold War client, featuring areas around Russia like the Chernobyl disaster, basically a one-to-one remake inside the map. Very excited for this one. It's much better than I thought it was going to be after all the rumors of development crises. But nope, seems to be moving along quite swiftly, with Treyarch and Raven forming a good development and relationship. Personally, I'm most excited about the campaign from what I played so far, so I leave you with this. Know your history. Yes, with this reboot, the Black Ops and Modern Warfare universes are now all canonically in the same timeline. Russia's got the chemical weapons, and they did way back in the Cold War too. Don't remember? Know your history. Come on, why won't you tell us? What do they mean? And then those are all the numbers down below. I'm not sure if that's a message we're supposed to decode or something, but hey, if this is true, it lines up with not only what I just said in this video, but also what exclusive Ace was talking about when he reported inside information and later took down his video. So he could have watched his video, he could have watched some of my older videos to gather together this post. Who actually knows? Maybe it's legit, maybe it's not. But I still firmly believe we will see a huge Black Ops revamp in Warzone, whether it's a new map, whether it's kind of touching on the old map, but then we get some conflict too. And I talked about this in streams before. How will this new Warzone map work? Will they just destroy the old Verdansk where you can't play it anymore for a little while? Kind of like how Apex had it, where we had the main map, then the second map came out, and you weren't able to play the original map for a little while, and then at one point they made both maps playable. They can go the Apex approach, but you also have to remember, Warzone is a separate application where things were purchased just for the Verdansk Warzone map. So they can't just tell you, hey, you can't use your microtransactions anymore, all that money you spent on bundles, you can't use that. They really can't do that. So I'm curious if through the Modern Warfare app, you can boot the Verdansk map, and then through the Black Ops Cold War app, you can boot the Black Ops Warzone map. You know, I think that works just fine. However, right, despite that being a perfect balance, what if you just have Warzone on its own as a free-to-play client? Will both maps be playable through that? I'd assume so. They will likely just have to completely revamp the standalone Warzone application to account for both existing Warzone maps. I think that's the best way to put it, just so that one Warzone map has the Black Ops guns and characters and all that crap, and then the other map, right, the Verdansk one we have now, has the Modern Warfare guns, characters, and all that loot crap, right? So that's probably how they're going to end up doing it. Again, maybe the nuke goes off during whatever live event happens, and then after the nuke goes off, you can't play Verdansk anymore for a little while, right? And then eventually, later down the line, you'll be able to switch from the Verdansk Warzone map and the Black Ops Cold War Warzone map, right? Anything is possible at this point. We'll just have to wait and see. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave all your thoughts on this down below in the comment section. I know the Easter egg hunt does continue this Friday at 12 p.m. EST. I'll be streaming the next part of the Easter egg hunt here on my channel. Really excited for that. Definitely make sure to be there. And that is about it. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everyone.